Hi, honest discussion right here. Real fast before we get started, AgnosticMan77 has closed his channel. I'm not exactly sure why. He went into it briefly on his new channel, Agman Lives, which you should all subscribe to because he's freaking awesome. If you are a new subscriber to me, or actually if you've been a subscriber to me since I think December, you may have noticed that when you click the subscribe button, you saw one of two people, either King Heathen or AgnosticMan77. That's because I chose those two people. I liked the way they did videos. I liked that they, just sat around and discussed religion. And I liked the topics that they brought up and everything. And Agnostic Man, I owe a lot to. He kind of convinced me to show my face on YouTube. Without him, my videos and my channel could be something very different. I know there's at least 50 of you on here that would not be subscribed to me if it wasn't for his recommendation. So he has done a great deal for me, and Agman, if you're listening to this, if you need anything, I'm here for you, buddy. I think you're awesome, and don't be doubting yourself too much, man, because we all love you. Now, the point I wanted to make is that I find the claim about evidence in relation to God, or more specifically Jesus, and Jesus of Nazareth. I find it interesting the way that it is presented as towards its actual existence, and that we have lots of apparently evidence that it happened through eyewitness testimony, yet we don't have any physical evidence. Now, we wouldn't have physical evidence of a miracle that's very vague, but something, I would argue there are plenty of miracles that could happen that would be pretty easy, that would be shown to, at the very least, you'd be able to come to no other conclusion beyond that it was a miracle based on not eyewitness testimony, but physical evidence. And let me give you a good example of a miracle that could have been incredibly easy for such an omnipotent being, incredibly reasonable and rational for them to do because it would save a lot of souls, and something that did not violate free will in any way. Teleportation. Give me a second here. Now, according to most Christians, I would say even more so, the majority of Christians would claim that you have to at least know Jesus in some capacity, whatever the methodology is, whatever, you have to accept him or know of him or follow him in some way. Now, if you don't hold to that, that's a whole other story, but considering that if you hold to the fact that if you know Jesus and you don't believe in him, but there's a different methodology of how you go to heaven if you've never heard of him, go watch my philosophical proofs and I'll pwn you there. But the thing is, under the original supposition of most of Christianity, that you have to know Jesus and accept him in order to go to heaven, I would think it would be God's main goal to spread this message as quickly as possible. Not necessarily make people, but at least make it available to them. Now, considering that Satan was able to transport God to a mountain tall enough so that he could see all of the lands of the world, I think it would be well within God's power to take a couple of his disciples and maybe put them in places around the world and not have to wait for science to create a boat big enough and sophisticated enough to get there. Because 1,400 years passed before the Native Americans even heard a whisper of the religion known as Christianity. And yet, for some reason, this God would have wanted them to know it, but didn't. I imagine it would be very easy. Imagine Jesus right after the resurrection. He's talking to all of his disciples. Hey guys, good job. I appreciate everything you've done for me, all my disciples, all my peeps. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, Maddie, Johnny, Lukey. Great job on all of that stuff. Hey, where's Judas? Oh, right. Screw him. I know some of you deny me, but, I'm all forgiving. Thomas, come over here. Come on, you can touch. Come on, go ahead. Touch the scar. Yep. Oh, yeah. Feel how it squishes? Yes. Yeah, hurt like a bitch, I can tell you that. You better all thank me. Seriously, that hurt like a bitch. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I just appeared resurrected to 500 people. And there's at least 5,000 that I fed with magically generated food. So we've got at least almost 6,000 people, probably, that believe in me. In the thousands, it's in there, around here. So you guys, you're my boys. You're all my boys. We've been going around here for years. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to teleport you to different places around the world to preach the gospel. Places that, you know, mankind in this area couldn't reach on its own, given the level of technology. How? I'm God. Do you need to touch the scar again? Do you need to touch the hole? Seriously. Come on. Touch the hole. Touch the hole. Yeah. You believe me now, don't you? Alright. Don't think I'm going to be doing this forever. Alright, so, listen. Maddie, you're going to North America. Johnny, you're going to Asia. Let's see. All the rest of you, we're going to spread you around Africa. Let's see. Luke, I don't know, Russia. You like the cold? You do now. You, Australia, China, over here, South America. Just, you know, draw from a hat. I don't really care, but I'm sending you around. I might want to write down some stuff first. Don't just tell somebody so that they write it down later. Write it down now. Come on, let's not be lazy here. Come on, chop. Anyway, alright, so I'm going to send you all there. You can spread the message, and that way we can start saving some souls. Alright? Alright, let's go. Alright? On 3, 1, 2, 3, break! Seriously, would that really be that hard? A simple teleportation, a simple movement of matter across an ocean. How convincing would it be to people around the world if we could tell that Native Americans knew of Christianity at about 50 AD, or CE, or whatever you'd like to call it? How convincing would it be if right after the resurrection, 12 people, 11, you know, since Judas killed himself, were magically transported and showed up in other parts of the world with the same story in their hands? How convincing would that be? And how many lives, how many souls, how much Christian goodwill would have been spread from that? I'd probably be a believer if that had happened. If this had happened, this would have saved so many lives. But instead of doing a simple task that any omnipotent being should have been able to do, for 14 centuries, an entire half of the world was left without the only thing that can save the human soul, to quote the new Venom Fang X, aka Gear Up. If your God is so powerful, if he is so wise, if he is so loving and desires your salvation so much, couldn't he have just done this little tiny thing that would have gone so far in proving his existence and his validity? More so than some guy told me so. I don't think it's too unreasonable to say. Subscribe to Agman now, please. I'm Discussioner, out.